Good morning, investors. Welcome to the Real Estate Investor News Channel. This is your host, Tony Moreno, and I got three great stories for you guys. Let me go ahead and share my screen. For the first story, we got Avenue 8 to shut down brokerage operations to turn AI app. So this is a brokerage that is basically shutting down all operations and turning it into turning their investments towards AI. For our second story, we're going to go over 21 sustainable building materials to consider for your home. With all this crazy storms we've been getting lately, there's some materials that are discussed here. And then for the third story, we're going to talk about the Fed. We forgot to cover this last week. Federal Reserves now expect to cut interest rates just once in 2024 and amid sticky inflation. So we're going to go over those three stories. But before we do, please be sure to subscribe to our channel on YouTube, Spotify, wherever you are listening to this. That's the way we grow. That's the way you support. Let's get right into it. So for our first story, it says here, Avenue 8 is shutting down its brokerage operations. The San Francisco-based firm will instead shift its focus to selling an artificial intelligence powered assistant for real estate agents, a tool called Sidekick. Now, I don't know. I didn't even look up. Let me see. I'm going to look up Sidekick AI tool. Let me see if they already started it. Yeah, it's already in operation, apparently. I guess right now it just schedules meetings and stuff. So it's supposed to be for agents and stuff, things of that sort. Let's keep on reading. Avenue 8 isn't the only brokerage that has introduced AI-powered assistant through it's the first to shift towards the tool and away from the business brokerage altogether. The business of brokerage altogether. So I did look. I didn't know who Avenue 8 was, so I did look up. I just did some a Google search, and it says here Avenue 8 is a digital and mobile first residence real estate brokerage for modern agents, empowering them to be more entrepreneurial and to close from anywhere and to keep substantially more of their income, with emphasis on simplicity and design. Avenue 8 provides premium services at scale through a mix of automation and human expertise for marketing a home to making an offer. So I guess, I mean, the reason why this article was very interesting to me because I do think AI will play a big part in real estate. Of course, it won't change the interaction and stuff like that, but it could help with things like that. Where I mean, right now today, you got people closing from miles away. Uh, I mean, this what this company is trying to do, maybe get agents to get a property under contract. In California, when the agent could be all the way in Florida, things of that sort. So I do think there's opportunity for that, but of course, and I do think, for example, there's opportunity for deeds to be kind of like an ETF. That's something that's not spoken about again. It was spoken. A lot of people brought it up about a year ago. But AI will play a big major part in real estate. So stay tuned with this company, with this app Sidekick, because if they are shutting down brokers and putting all efforts into this, that means number one that they believe in it, and number two that means investors are putting their money on that. So that's something that could eventually be a big success. All right, for our second story, 21 sustainable building materials to consider for your home. So it says here majorly because of the 28 major weather and climate disasters that we've been having, a lot of people are considering different materials according to National Center for Environment Information. So they list 21. Oh, I'm not even sharing my screen. They list 21, but we're going to go over only about three because I thought they were interesting. This article is not as great, but hey, it's something different, right? All right. So for the first material they consider here is precast concrete. When a sturdier material is necessary to create the outer walls of a building, concrete is often still a preferred method. But to reduce the energy required to produce it, prefabrication is becoming more common. This means the slab is created in a factory setting and shipped to the construction site instead of being poured on site. And I thought this was interesting because uh, we're already into kind of like the 3D printing world, and prefabricated stuff is kind of like the stepstone to get to 3D printing of concrete, at least. But same thing with modular homes. A lot of modular homes, they look like homes that they were built on site, but no, they were built in a factory and just assemble at the site. So this is something that we have to keep an eye on the construction of real estate and any other construction, really. But I mean, you guys seen how sometimes they ship, for example, big commercial spaces. They ship the almost like the entire walls to the site, and then they ended up lifting it up vertically. So keep an eye out for that technology. The other material that I thought was interesting, that is something huge happening in the Airbnb space, is shipping containers. If you're interested, uh, if your interests lie in recycled material and you appreciate a more modern design aesthetic, a shipping container home may be for you. While a 40 by 8-foot container may provide the perfect exoskeleton for your new tiny home, be sure to research all the calls for it. Blah 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 blah. But we know this is being highly used with Airbnb, a lot of Airbnb unique rentals. So this is something that, why not incorporate it in your own house? Again, it's safe, it's metal, it's probably stronger than a two by fours, drywall and siding. So yeah, why not, right? All right, that's for our second story. And for our third story, we're gonna talk about the Federal Reserve now expect to cut interest rates just once in 2024 amid sticky inflation. So we know back in, I think it was March, I believe it was March, we covered that the Fed decided they stopped the hikes, and they predicted several cuts through 2024. But in this Fed meeting that they had last week, they decided to just bring it down, at least forecast one rate drop. Not necessarily any hikes, so that's a good thing. But inflation's still not 100% under control. So let's read here. The central bank kept the federal fund rate, or what banks charge, each other for short-term loans, in a range of 5.25 to 5.5, as remain at that level, the highest in 23 years since July of 2023. It says here the Fed. I get a whole bunch of ads. I wish I could like remove all these at once. Anyways, the Fed have been wary of cutting rates due to stubborn inflation, which is showing some signs of easing, yet remains above the central bank 2% target. So we know inflation is still out of control. And let me see, CPI price in May rose 3.3%. So it's not at the 2% target that they're looking at, and that's why they're not in a rush to bring rates down super fast just yet. It says here, with the Fed adding that is penciling with the I cannot read today. With the Fed adding that is penciling in just one rate cut this year, down from 3 reduction it had earlier forecasted. So what I spoke earlier, that now we are expecting just one rate hike versus one rate reduction versus 3 that they predicted in 2024. So that is all I got for the 3 stories. I will share the articles below. So please, if you want to go see them, they are in the show notes if you want to check that out. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. That's the way we grow. That's the way you support. And please give me some feedback on this. I know I'm trying to keep it short. If we need to go longer, I can. I always say, like, the shorter the better, because people's attention span is very short. But if there's maybe some news that you guys want to dive into it more, just let me know in the comments, or personally, DM me on Instagram, Facebook, wherever. I'm everywhere. Below, you see right here on the screen. Let me see, like right here. You see where you can follow me. With that being said, everybody have a blessed weekend. Happy Friday, and let's go